Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Python video. In this video, we're going to focus on variables and data types. Now, this video directly follows what we did last week where we installed Python and created our first Python project. If you missed that, feel free to check out the previous video before coming back to this one. But yeah, let's get started. Now, what is a variable? A variable is a named storage location. Once declared, it is going to be saved to your computer's memory. So variables will be the thing that you'll be using to store different values on, and then you'll be able to reference them later on in your code. Now, how do we declare a variable? In Python, you start with the name that you want to give it. So for example, we'll call this x, and then we'll put equal, and then this is where you assign the value. So for this example, we'll say 2. And there you go, you just declared your first variable. Now, if we use the built-in function print like we did in the last video, and then we can pass the variable we just created into there, and then once we run our code, the output will be 2. If we declare a second variable, let's say y, and let's give it 4, and in our print function, we say print x plus y, then in the print function, it will add those two together, will give us 6. Now, variables are not limited to only numbers. If we say message equal, and then we do double quotes like this, and we say hello, and then we change the content in here to say print message, it is going to print hello. Now that you know how to declare a variable, let's go ahead and move on and talk about data types. Now, when you declare a variable in Python, there is a couple of different data types that you can use. In this example, as you can see, we've declared with 2 different data types. We have 2 variables here that have an integer, which is 2 and 4, and we have a message variable that has the string hello. Now, these are 2 different data types. We're going to explain here the most common data types one by one, starting with the integer. An integer is a whole number. So for example, this variable x is an integer because it contains the value of 4. And if we print x, we will get 4 as a result. A float is essentially a decimal number. If we look at the variable x, it contains the value 1.25. If we print x again here, it is going to say 1.25. The string data type is used to represent text. So in this example, we have the variable message containing the message coding with Slender. If we print the word message, we will see it results with coding with Slender. A bool or a boolean is represented with either true or false. So for this example, we have the variable called isActivated, and we put true as the result. So if we go ahead and print isActivated, it is going to output true. If we change from true to false, we can print again, and it's going to say false. It is worth mentioning that there are other data types like lists and tuples, but we're going to get to those in a separate video. The last thing that's worth mentioning here is that variables can actually change data types in Python. What I mean by that is, let's say we type a variable, let's just call it x again, and we'll give it 3. Now later on in my code, if I say that x is now equal to high, and then we go ahead and print x, it will give us high. Notice that these 2 data types are different. If you look at x here at the start, we did initially say that it was an integer, but now we changed it later on in our code as a string. However, what you can do is you can actually tell Python that you actually want this variable to stay as an integer or any other data type that you may use by simply adding a colon and then adding the word int, like this. Now, this is telling Python that this variable must be an int. So later on in our code, as you can see, this message highlights in yellow, and it says expected type int, and I got a string instead. So this forces us to actually change this to an integer. All right, and that will pretty much do it. That is the basics of variables and data types. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, of course, make sure to leave them in the comments as well. I will go ahead and have a look, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.